Hi friends! Today I'm going to talk about digital versus analog cameras, aka manual versus automatic. So listen up! First things first is how pictures are stored. On analog cameras you have film, which you insert into the bottom of the camera, sometimes the side. You take the pictures and they print out on the film, and then you can take them to any local store, or if you have your own place to develop your own film, it takes pictures off of the film, and then you have your own pictures. The thing about digital is they come with memory cards, which are really cool little things because you can hold lots and lots of pictures on them. You can insert them to your computer or a card reader. It's just easier and more convenient for today's time. So digital cameras definitely have a better way of storing pictures and getting pictures. Secondly, we're going to talk about lighting. Analog cameras, aka manual cameras, you have to adjust yourself in the camera to have the right lighting, because you have to use raw lighting because it doesn't know how to pick it up in the right places. Unlike digital cameras, which has a little tiny sensor behind the lens that picks up the light right where you need it, and it produces a perfect image every time. Analog cameras aren't good for that, just because you have to make your own light. You have to make sure you're in the right place at the right time to get the right picture. Digital cameras just help you along, so in the end it's easier just to use a digital camera when it comes to lighting and fixing the right light to have the perfect picture. Thirdly, we're going to talk about cost. Digital cameras are a lot more expensive nowadays because they are so advanced in technology, but really and truly it's worth spending the money because you're not buying film and you're not having to pay for the pictures to get printed off like you do with analog cameras, where you have to take the film and let them develop it. And you can put digital pictures right on your computer, go through them, look, and print off what you want, which actually another thing is it saves your time, because you can, when you take a picture, with a digital camera, it shows up after you take it, and you're like, if you don't like it, you just automatically delete it and get rid of it, and it's like it's never happened. Rather than with the analog camera, you take that picture, you don't see it till after it's printed, so you don't know if you did a bad job or if the lighting wasn't right. And that's the advantage of a digital camera, because you can see what you just did, and you can look back on your work before you actually pay for it to be printed off or printed off yourself. So cost is definitely an issue when it comes to analog versus digital cameras, and I think the digital camera is really worth it, worth the extra cost to pay for it, because in the end you don't have to pay for the little stuff that an analog camera comes with. Let's talk about quality. This is a picture of my roommate that I found on her board, but it was taken with an analog camera, and you can tell that it was done by film because of the resolution in it. The bottom of the picture is more brighter because of where the flash must have been, but if you can see up here at her face, it's very, very blurry, and there are light spots all around her face, and you can't see it clearly because of the resolution of the picture and just how it was printed off. This is a picture of me and my dad that was taken with the digital camera, and you can tell the lighting and the resolution is a lot clearer. It's a lot better when you actually look at it as a whole. The light is evenly distributed, and it really picked it up where it needed to be, rather than on this picture it only picks it up down here where the actual flash is, rather than blowing it up all over the picture and giving you a clear resolution. And this is very, very clear and very, very easy to see, that even though we were outside and it was dark, a digital camera could do this, rather than this is inside and you can't hardly even see both the people in the picture. So this is analog picture and this is a digital picture, and so this is the difference, and you can kind of tell that one's a lot darker and this one's a lot clearer. As a photographer, I've used both analog and digital cameras. I don't have my analog camera with me here at school, but I do have my digital one, so I was just gonna show it off a little bit and show you what I like best about it. The zoom is automatic or manual. It just depends on what's best for you. When you take a picture, it shows up on your screen here, and then you can delete it as you like. When you're taking the picture, it doesn't show up as a screen, but there are settings that you can do that. But I just look through the little eye thing. When you go to take the picture, the flash automatically pops up. It has settings on it, whether you can do different without flash at night, movement, different things like that. It has an automatic and a manual button here in case you want it to do the flash to do it or it do it on its own. It has a self timer. It has zoom, and when you're actually looking at the pictures, you can zoom and unzoom. It has a memory card with it, and a great battery. When I had an analog camera, it was very, very hard to work on my photography because I didn't get to see it till afterwards. The zoom was very, very hard sometimes to turn and adjust the way I wanted it to do. It didn't have all these different settings because it was just a simple analog camera. From going from an analog to digital, it really has shown me how much of technology has changed in the camera world. I wouldn't go back to analog. I just enjoy digital better, and I really do think that the quality of digital cameras are a lot better than analog cameras were. I think analog cameras have their use and their purposes. Just depends on what you're taking pictures of. But personally, as a photographer, I like digital cameras, and I really do think the benefits of them are growing faster and faster and faster, and that they're gonna eventually be amazing. Like digital cameras are gonna take over the world type thing. But I just really enjoy digital camera, and they're, in my opinion, a lot better than analog cameras, and I'm glad that the technology is slowly but surely developing into better and better things. So I really enjoyed explaining the difference between analog and digital to you. I hope that if you enjoy photography and that's one of your passions, that you go for it and find out the difference between analog and digital yourself, because everybody has a different preference and everybody has a different opinion. So thanks for listening in, and ready, set, smile.